And who will earn their way into that space, the Derby Winners Circle this year? Don passed in 2018, but his spirit lives on as we think of the lengths people go to try to make it on this day. Derby number 152. You settle in on the 19 horses as the 150,000 on hand get to their spot that they have staked out all day to make sure they see the biggest horse race in America. As the horses have moved past that starting gate, now will start circling back to load. And the tension builds and the excitement. We'll look at the latest odds. We'll keep them up there so you can watch them as they change and evolve. And let's take you through some of these horses. Randy, we'll begin with the 6, Commandment. Brad Cox, the trainer. Luis Saez, the jock.
I looked up, he was the favorite. I looked back, he's not the favorite. I mean, the public is very confused as well right now, but Commandment has won 4 consecutive races, the only horse in the field to win 4. You watch him in the mornings, he won't impress you. But Brad Cox, his trainer right there, has said he puts his game face on in the afternoons. This horse just knows how to win. And there's Luis Saez, the 3rd rider to be on Commandment in his last 3 starts.
What I love about these shots of the trainers, the owners, the jockeys, you know they're a few minutes away from potentially a life-changing moment, and they wear it on their face. The 8's so happy. We talk about life-changing. It happened, and we showed the story with the trainer, Mark Blatt. Now his opportunity to win the Derby.
It'd be so terrific for him for this week, and for Mike Smith becoming the oldest jockey if he were to win the Kentucky Derby. It's all about relaxing early for this horse. The less contact he receives early in the race, no matter where he's positioned, the more likely he is to relax and enhances his chances to win.
Great point. The start of this is unlike any other race that you see with the 19 horses. The 1, Randy, Renegade.
He was the program favorite. Right now he's the co-second choice at 6-1. The Arkansas Derby winner, wearing the silks, the co-owner, Mike Rapole, who's had so much bad luck in this race. Heck, he's had problems getting his best horses into the starting gate. Uncle Mo, scratched. Forte, scratched. Last year, Grande, scratched. Now he gets one to the post. Renegade, though, has that number 1 post position that trainers seem to dread.
Been 40 years since someone won out of the 1 hole. At the moment, currently, Renegade, the co-favorite with the 18, Further Ado.
Yeah, co-favorite. He's never been going a longer distance of ground more than 3 lengths off the lead. I would expect this jockey, John Velasquez, who is a great position rider, to put him up within 5 or 6 lengths. Any closer than that, I think the only way this horse doesn't get maximum ability today is if he's too close to a hot pace early. So John Velasquez, I know he's done this a million times. He's won 3 Derbies. I think he's going to be very aware of that.
Guys, you have to go back to 1973, the last time we had a repeat visit to the Derby Winners Circle, going back-to-back in Derbies with a trainer and a jockey combo. Junior Alvarado and Bill Mott have the chance to do that with Chief Wallaby, the 12. Currently at 7-1, the 5th choice.
Right, after Sovereignty last year. And look, Chief Wallaby was 3rd in the Florida Derby. Commandment beat him, but Commandment beat him by only a nose and a half length. And the blinkers that you might get a peek at there that Chief Wallaby is wearing, he's wearing them for the very first time. Mott put them on him because he thought the horse needed a little extra focus.
Emerging Market has become an emerging story with Chad Brown because of 2 races, 2 wins. We saw that last night in the Kentucky Oaks with a Chad Brown conditioned horse. That's the same storyline for the 15.
2 components to this for horses, Mike. They've got to be physically able and talented enough to do that, and also mentally enough prepared to take this 150,000 people screaming and yelling, the massive amount of horses in this race. They've never run it with this many horses before, but Emerging Market seems to me like a horse that can handle all this. But again, the less bumping that he has to go through, the more similar it is to his other races.
So, Mike, in one change of the odds board, So Happy just went from the favorite to the 4th choice.
Look at the same thing. That's how tight they are between 5-1 and 6-1. You mentioned Mike Rapole, so invested in this sport. He's one of its biggest names. Can he win the sport's biggest race? Last year, that's what Bill Mott did as a trainer. Can he go back-to-back? Chief Wallaby is his horse. And if his horse doesn't win, he may still feel great about what happens on this day because his son, 34-year-old Riley Mott, has 2 that are about to load in the gate. And Mark Blatt, the story of his wife, Dina, who passed away unexpectedly less than 3 months ago. His horse, So Happy, will load into the gate. The horses load 2 at a time, double load. It takes it to an easier pace as you're loading 19 horses in. They do such a good job here at Churchill in what is now 1 gate. Used to be 17 and then an auxiliary gate, but it's 1 gate, so that mitigates the issue with the 1 just a little bit. 6-speed loaded with a hood on. That is not uncommon for that horse. We were expecting that to happen. There is the 8. So happy with Mike Smith aboard, the winner of the Santa Anita Derby. That emotional opportunity. Great White, the big horse we saw a moment ago, something cooking, kicked Alex Achard, who's making a Derby debut, the jockey off the horse, the 34-year-old Frenchman. Donna Brothers down there watching. Donna?
As the horses were loading into the starting gate, he reared up and he just got tipped over, Mike. He just went a little bit too far, and he did end up landing on his side. He's up walking around right now. They're evaluating him, but he did flip over on the racetrack.
Okay, there you see the horse, and there you see exactly what happened in the horse flipping over. So there are vets there, many vets, to check on the horses in a situation like this.
Oh, man, the rider's very lucky he didn't roll over on him. All 1,365 pounds of him. I'm sure the horse is shook a little bit, but it didn't appear like he thumped his head on anything. Mostly.
But the veterinarians are so careful nowadays with horse safety, and as you can see, they're working on the girth right now to see if they're just tightening it or they're going to take off the saddle. Let's see.
And I saw Dr. Will Farmer, who's the Churchill Downs Equine Medical Director. He had a...
He's
yes.
out.
Yes, they are going to scratch him. He had the radio out there, and the vets are there watching in situations like that for that reason. So Great White is a late scratch.
Imagine the disappointment for Achard.
Alex Achard, the 34-year-old. Now they'll back all the horses out because it's a long time to sit in there, and that just lengthens the process.
Yeah, because these riders want the horses to break well, Mike, so they do a lot of their warm-up in the last minute, so they're as warm as they can possibly be before they go in there without going overboard. So now they're going to settle down, and for some of them it might be fine. Others maybe not.
They'll remove Great White from the track, get him out of the way, and start the reloading process. There you see.
There is that horse heading back. And once again, we say it all the time, and you heard it in the disappointment for Alex Achard, the 34-year-old Frenchman, about to make his Kentucky Derby debut, not raised in this sport. The parents of Achard were involved in show jumping in France, and he's transitioned to becoming a successful jockey, and his Derby debut denied because of Great White acting up before loading in the gate. We say this all the time, and you heard it in the walkover interviews. You always wonder how they're going to react, because the horses never go this distance, they never run in a field this big, and they never, ever run in front of this many people.
And never will again.
Unless they're on the Derby card next year as a 4-year-old,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
On the undercard. Right.
And so, Jerry, you have to be very careful and patient, try to understand that jockey-horse relationship that we talked about before, the humans and the horses, so important at a time like this.
It's a fine line, Mike. You want them ready. When they walk into that starting gate, you want to warm them up to the point to where they're ready to run when the gates open, but you don't want them too nervous because you never know what's going to set a horse off. You could be in the gate and another horse act up and set your horse off.
And, Mike, when a horse flips like that and lands as hard as he did, there's really no time to do a proper veterinary examination, so they err on the side of caution and take him out.
So now it is a field of 18 to run in the Kentucky Derby. And those odds, Randy, at the moment have 3 co-favorites in Renegade, So Happy, and Further Ado. There you see them. They take Great White to the bottom scratched. Denon Bourbon and Potente are the 2 that were right before Great White. So now they'll go back through the process, double loading, some of the horses needing 2 to handle and get in there and push them from the back with locked arms. Now they seem to be loading pretty smoothly. We'll keep a close eye as 6-speed. Perhaps some of the early speed in this race loads in as well. And Further Ado currently sitting as co-favorite, 5-1 odds. There you go, the locked arms to get him in there. 7 more horses to load as the tension and the energy build. And Golden Tempo balks for a moment before being assisted into the starting gate. Okay, they are almost set, so let's go for the call of the 152nd Kentucky Derby to the great Larry Colmus.
All right, thank you, Mike, and we're just about set. Last few, Japan's Wonder Dean moving into the starting gate, along with Ocelli, who's never won a race in his life. Incredible moves into line, and that will lead Long Shot Robusta to the outside stall. Robusta steps forward and in, all in line and ready for the start. They're off in the Kentucky Derby. Renegade getting bunched about on the inside. He did get in a little bit of traffic. Wonder Dean goes out to the front with 6 speed on the outside. And Denon Bourbon is up close with So Happy as well. So it's these 4 to set the pace. Then Emerging Market, Pavlovian to the outside. Potente and Litmus Test along the rail. Break of 2 to Further Ado's. In between, Chief Wallaby and Robusta. 3 to Intrepido and Incredibolt. And then Commandment, who finds himself about 10 lengths off the lead. Then it's a big gap back to Renegade, who was in a little bit of traffic there on that first turn. Oselli is next. And then come the 2 trailers, Albus and late running Golden Tempo. So on to the backstretch they go here in the Kentucky Derby. 6 speed is expected, setting the pace of 46.44. Opening half mile here. The lead is 2 lengths. So Happy and Japan's Denon Bourbon heads apart. Second and third. Wonder Dean is 4th in behind them. Litmus Test is 5th along the rail. Then Emerging Market, Pavlovian. Further Ado is in behind them. Further Ado about 7 lengths behind under John Velasquez. And then Potente down on the inside and Chief Wallaby. Commandment has 7 to make up. He's outside of Intrepido. Then Incredibolt. Renegade is in behind that group. He's on the rail. He's got 10 lengths to make up as 6 speed and Denon Bourbon are 1-2 on the far turn. Mike Smith and So Happy are there to their outside. 2.5 back. And then down toward the inside comes Emerging Market as they make their way to the top of the stretch. Further Ado is getting going on the far outside with Commandment. They're both putting in their runs as they arrive into the final furlong. Oselli is also gaining ground on the far outside as they come to the last 16th of a mile. Denon Bourbon in front. Oselli a huge long shot. Renegade and Golden Tempo are closing too. Here's Golden Tempo! Golden Tempo! And Cherie DeVaux make history in the Kentucky Derby over Renegade in a final time of 2:02.27 seconds.
The first female trainer to win the Kentucky Derby. 44-year-old Cherie DeVaux conditioning Golden Tempo with a tremendous run down the stretch to win the Derby. The second female trainer to win a Triple Crown race. Jenna Antonucci won the Belmont 3 years ago. And for all the talk of Irad Ortiz trying to win his first Kentucky Derby, it is brother Jose who wins his first Derby in his 12th try.
With Irad right behind him. 1-2 for the Ortiz brothers.
Golden Tempo was so far last down the backside, he couldn't count that far. Renegade got on a little bumping early in the race, but I thought he had every chance to win. I didn't think he got shoveled back too far. What an exciting race.
And Renegade from way, way back to come second, and Oselli out of nowhere, 70-1 shot, finishing third.
The maiden had never won a race before. It looked for a second
yes,
like it was going to be Oselli. And then suddenly on the far outside, you see Renegade, then Golden Tempo. Wow.
Jaime Torres, the jockey of Incredibolt, coming by to give Jose Ortiz praise.
This horse was in a different time zone early in the race, which is the way he likes to run.
Well, and the pace set up for him. It was fast early with 6 speed going out. They went 22 and change the first quarter, which is, but there he is.
Oh my gosh.
He's already starting to move now down the backside. He was 5 or 6 behind the last horse. Great ground-saving trip by Jose Ortiz. Sometimes when you're that far back, Mike, that everybody makes their decision already, and you're left a lot of open lanes. Now he'll shift him out as he knows he's going to run into trouble if he doesn't, and he takes aim on his brother. And what a tremendous kick by Golden Tempo.
That's a lot of ground to make up in the stretch of the Kentucky Derby. He's 7 or 8 lengths back at the top of the stretch still.
The numbers on how far he ran are going to be amazing, right? Wow. And this is the pedigree of this horse. He has been dead last or second to last in almost every race he's run, but made a charge like this at a moment like this. A historic moment, Nick Luck.
Truly, Mike. And Cherie DeVoe is with nephew Maverick, daughter Reagan, husband David, sister Adrian, and for you, family is everything. This race has been everything. You're the first woman to train the winner of a Kentucky Derby winner. Breathe it in and try and tell me how it feels.
I don't even have any words right now. I just can't. Just so happy for Golden Tempo. Jose did a wonderful job, masterful job at getting him there. He was so far out of it, and he has had so much faith in this horse. And I want to say thank you to the team of St. Elias and Phipps Stable for giving me the opportunity to be here.
This is a great historic ownership stable who have so much history in this race. You're breaking history today. What does that mean to you?
I honestly don't know. I'm glad that I could be a representative of all women everywhere, that we can do anything we set our minds to.
Hear, hear. And you have been a fantastic tribune for that these last few years. When you were watching the early stages of the race, Cherie, he was dead last. What was going through your mind?
I was actually more focused on the pace that was in front of him. There was plenty in front, and I was just hoping Jose would work a trip out when they all started coming back to him at the top of the stretch.
I've just got to ask, Reagan, how does it feel to see Mum do this?
Amazing. It's truly an honor. A lot of tears, you can't tell. Especially being from Kentucky, this is truly an honor. It's just really cool to watch, and I'm really proud of you. I really am. Yeah.
Family DeVoe. This horse has done you proud, and vice versa. Well done. Well done. Donna.
Jose Ortiz is saluting the crowd that is cheering him right now. Jose, we just heard from Cherie DeVoe, her first Kentucky Derby win, the first woman to win the Kentucky Derby, but this has been your lifelong dream and your lifelong mission. What's it mean to you to get here for your first Derby win?
It's a dream come true. This is the biggest race in the world for me, and I'm just blessed that I get to ride it almost every year, but get to win it it's just special. And to have my mom and my dad here today is very special. And I just wish my grandpa was here, but I know he's looking from heaven. Just very happy that I get my goal, my life dream goal achieved, and you know it's just amazing experience. I can't wait to see my family and celebrate.
Jose, I can see it means a lot to you as the tears stream down your face. Did you ever imagine that when you would get your first Kentucky Derby win, it would come down to a head-and-head battle between you and your brother, Irad?
Not really. I mean, I want him to win the Derby, of course. I know it's his dream as well, but you know, it happened that way. I think he should be happy. His horse ran a very good race. He's a very nice horse. But, you know...
But it's your day today.
It was my year, and today's my day, and, you know, just Golden Tempo's day, and I'm happy for Cherie, for the ownership, and to win a Derby on Phipps color, it makes it special. You know, it's such a legendary silks.
Jose, not just your day. You won the Kentucky Oaks yesterday, too. What does it mean to you to get that Oaks Kentucky Derby double? You already forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, to get the double is very hard. And they were joking inside the room today that 10 guys have done it. It's not impossible. I mean, just very happy, very happy.
Jose, last question. When you were growing up in Puerto Rico, you looked up to Johnny Velasquez, a legendary jockey, Hall of Fame jockey. What do you want to say to the kids in Puerto Rico who are watching you today, dreaming of being a jockey?
It's a great question, Donna. Just to have good attitude, try to learn English, and try to learn every day more. It takes time. I've been here 11 years. This is my 11th year. And thankfully.
Hey! You're leaving out your incredible work ethic.
Yeah, it takes time. You got to work, be responsible, respect people, and I know they got to know that I was sitting there 15 years ago in the same chair they're sitting. So it's not impossible. All dreams come true. They just got to dream, but dream big.
Jose, I'm happy to see this dream come through for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mike.
Donna, thanks for taking us to special places over the last 25 years in this sport. And Donna, of course, her last Derby is the only one of our group to pick Golden Tempo. Friday of Kentucky Derby weekend is they run the Kentucky Oaks. And we say that's Ladies' Day. Well, Saturday at the 152nd Derby, Ladies' Day as well, as Cherie DeVaux makes history as the trainer of Golden Tempo, the winner to join the list of some of the best horses of all time. There's a new Kentucky Derby champion, and this was a championship effort from the very back, covering a ton of ground to chase down the rest, including one of the favorites, Renegade, who had made a furious charge from way back as well. In the end, it was brother against brother, and Jose got Irad by about a half a length and becomes the first in the family in his 11th try to win the Kentucky Derby. But in the century and a half of Triple Crown racing, only 2 women have been the trainer for a Kentucky over a Triple Crown winner, and Cherie DeVaux becomes the first Kentucky Derby winning trainer. Vinny Viola, who is the owner of the NHL's Florida Panthers, has a couple of Stanley Cups. He's been a part of the 2017 Derby, always dreaming ownership team, celebrating with their group as well. And bro, way to go. One day I hope that I'm there, but Irad says today it's you, Jose, the first Ortiz to win a Derby. Cherie DeVaux has made history at the 152nd Kentucky Derby.